Good morning, and thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny morning in Johannesburg, and I hope wherever you are, it's equally lovely. And I hope you're going to have a wonderful and insightful morning with us. This is our last webinar. We're very delighted to have Matt and Winter from Thunder Fund, and they're hopefully going to answer any questions that you might have about crowdfunding and about BackaBusiness in itself. We know that we're coming into the last stretches and we really are behind you. We want you to succeed. We want your campaigns to work for you. So this is the time now to ask any of those pressing questions, raise your concerns. This is now when Matt and Winter will be here to help you. They will be answering questions, and so just please type them in the chat comment and they will answer them as well. And if you have any comments, if you want to share stories, I'll also be very keen to hear your stories. So just, yeah, as long as you keep them nice, that's great. We're a nice platform. So without any further ado, I will be taking a back seat. I will be here from the Simply Biz team. My name is Janet Askew. I will step in if any technical issues happen, whatever. We hope we won't. We hope we all stay connected. If we do drop, please do just stay online. We'll be working madly in the background to try and get back to you. So bear with us, but here's to an eventful and interesting webinar. Matt, over to you.
I can't hear.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Just let me know. Okay, great. Hi everyone, I'm Matt. I'm the COO of Thunder Fund. It's a real pleasure to be with you guys today. We'd like to get as many of you trained on crowdfunding as possible. And I'm here with Winter and the Simply Biz team, who are looking to give you as much support through this whole process as we can. So let me just jump into the slideshow. We're going to be talking to you about crowdfunding through COVID-19. We know that it's a difficult time for many businesses, and really it's your customers who want you to succeed, and they want to be part of who you are and why you exist. And that's what we want to provide as a service to you. So what is crowdfunding? Well, there's many types of crowdfunding across the world. There's all the way from donation, giving once and not getting anything in return, all the way to equity investments. In between that is rewards-based crowdfunding, which particularly targets business communities, and it allows businesses to offer rewards in exchange for funds coming from the community. If we look at the global landscape, crowdfunding has really boomed in the last decade. So in Europe and America, as well as Asia, it's become a multi-billion-dollar market. It really started around 2008, 2009, following the global financial crisis. We saw platforms such as Indiegogo, Kickstarter, really kick off as an alternative for businesses. And we've started seeing some of that model transposed to Africa, Latin America, and Australia. And so we're really seeing the early stages of crowdfunding in Africa. And as Thunder Fund is a locally owned African crowdfunding platform, we want to provide local solutions that can benefit local businesses. So in rewards-based crowdfunding, it always starts with an idea. You know your business, you know what you can offer, you have your own idea of what you want to build and what you need money for. With that idea, you create a project. So you go to thunderfund.com and you register and explain to people what your idea is all about. Once you've created a really nicely packaged campaign, now it's your job to go out there and tell the crowd. Go and shout about what you are doing and why people should support your business. Now, as you convince people, they'll visit your page, they'll start pledging money in exchange for these rewards. They'll also be helping you to share your campaign to more people using social media. Once your campaign has ended and you've reached your goals, now your money will be sent to you and you'll be able to invest it in the best way possible. Now looking at what features does Thunder Fund have, we have a very easy registration. It just takes a few minutes. You can do it from your smartphone, from your laptop, however you want. That's the best place to get started. We offer a diverse range of payment options. We're not limited to Visa, MasterCard. We also offer PayPal. We offer mobile payments in some countries. We offer EFT payments if people want to pay directly from the bank. And so really people are without an excuse of why they can't support you. And we also have social media integrations. We make it very easy for you to reach out to your community and your crowd. All you have to do is take your unique link from your campaign page and share it to whichever channels you're active on. Now, in addition to that, why do people like to go through crowdfunding? Why do they prefer this method to giving you funds directly? Well, there's the crowd aspect, of course. We'll go into more details on that, but it's also secure. We do process all of our card payments very securely and transparently. So once somebody has given, they'll be able to see it reflected on the page. So they'll know that you will actually receive that funds at the end of the campaign. And also we have an excellent customer service team who are able to assist to your everyday needs. And more importantly, they are very much aware of the local environment, and we have many years experience in South Africa, so we seek to offer targeted support for this. So I'll pass it to my colleague Winter, who's going to teach you about crowdfunding through COVID-19.
Hi, good morning, guys. Please confirm that you can hear me. Okay, great, fantastic. My name is Winter Mudeu. I am the Campaigns and Community Manager at Thunder Fund, and I have been helping people create and run successful crowdfunding campaigns. So today we'll try and pack all that into a few minutes, and I hope you'll find this valuable and insightful. Let's go straight to the slides. So the first thing we'll discuss is the BackaBusiness Movement. And very briefly, what it is it's an opportunity for small businesses to crowdfund through the crisis. Crowdfunding has been a great solution for small businesses even before the crisis, but right now we see a bigger need for people to reach out to their networks and to their customers. And this is an initiative of Simply Biz by Nedbank. And in addition to giving support to the small businesses through crowdfunding, there's also an opportunity for small businesses to win 10,000 Rand once they have raised their first 10,000 Rand. So the basic plan around it is to invite your customers to buy now and redeem later. So the two questions we need to answer during the crisis and while you're thinking about reaching out to your customers through crowdfunding are, my needs have changed and how can my customers help me? And my customers' needs have changed and how can I help them? When you think around these two lanes, you'll be able to offer value for your customer and also give them a reason for them to come and back you. So this is an opportunity for small businesses to, as I have mentioned earlier, to reach out to their customers. And these are people who have been behind you during the good times, and they would most likely love to support you during the tough times. And it's great for you to give them an opportunity. So it's an opportunity for small businesses to reach out to their loyal customers. So through this BackaBusiness Movement, we have very special offerings for the BackaBusiness campaigns as opposed to regular crowdfunding campaigns. So in addition to buying now and redeeming later as a reward to your backers, you also get to build a strong relationship with your customers who already know your product and love your product and definitely want to see you succeed and reopen after the crisis. Then you also get a preferential Thunder Fund rate of 5%. Normally it's 7% for businesses, but through the BackaBusiness Movement, you'll be able to get a discounted rate on that. And you also, again, stand a chance of winning 100,000 Rand once you have raised your first 10,000 Rand. It's also an opportunity for customers to support their favorite small businesses that they want to see reopen after the crisis. And it's also an opportunity for them to purchase their favorite products at a discounted rate. And then they have something to look forward to after the lockdown. So it's a fantastic opportunity for your customer as well. And if you're asking how to participate, you only need to register on SimplyBiz, then create your crowdfunding campaign on Thunderfund. Then once you have raised your first 10,000 Rand, you will stand the chance of winning an additional 10,000 Rand. You'll be entered into a draw. It's going to be a random draw. So all the campaigns that have raised 10,000 Rand up to 20th of June, that's when the campaigns will be closed, but the draw is going to be held on 22nd of June. So if your project has raised 10,000 Rand by 20th of June, you will be entered automatically into the draw. So you still have time. 2 weeks is good time to set up a campaign and raise that first 10,000 Rand. So we'll go very quickly through the practicalities of setting up a crowdfunding campaign. In our previous sessions, we did go through this in detail, but today we'd like to focus more on running a campaign and for those who have already started and are a bit stuck, how to finish a campaign strongly. So through the parts about creating a campaign, we'll just highlight the main points, but we are definitely available for questions at the end and also after the session. Previous slide, please. So your campaign goals. Before you start your campaign, the first thing you want to know is what do you want to achieve? How much do you need? And just write that down. Let it be very clear to you and to the people you're going to be reaching out to. So our crowdfunding model on Thunderfund is all or nothing, which means that if you do not reach your goal, the backers that have supported you so far will be refunded, because we want to ensure that people have confidence that they're backing campaigns that will actually take off. So you get to choose 2 goals on Thunderfund. You choose your tipping point and your dream goal. Your dream goal is the goal that covers everything. You'll be able to achieve everything that you've set out to. But your tipping point is the very minimum that will allow you to get things started. And at this point, this is the point that if you do not reach, the backers will be refunded. So the tipping point should be an amount that is attainable to your network. You need to know your network. In this case, probably your customers. You know how they purchase from you. You know how much they're able to give. So you need to set your goals around that so that it's an amount that's attainable to them. You run your campaign for anywhere between 30 to 60 days, but we highly recommend shorter campaigns, so maybe about 30 days, because people tend to respond more when there's a sense of urgency. So next, I'm going to talk about the rewards. So rewards are a very powerful tool for any crowdfunding campaign. People give for different reasons. While we're talking about your goals, the first reason that people give is when they know that their contribution is going to make a difference. And by setting a realistic goal, that's what you inspire, confidence that they can reach the goal. But another reason that people give is what is in it for them. When you're giving people something in return, they're more likely to support what your cause is. So rewards are a great way to bring in the people who probably do not know you, but will find value in the rewards that you have to offer. There are 3 types of rewards that you can give. The first one is retail, which is actual items. So if you're selling anything physical, this would be the reward that you would offer in this category. If you're a coffee shop, it would probably look like coffee or a pastry or whatever else you sell in the shop. Or it could be merchandise. If you are a coffee shop, you could decide to sell coffee t-shirts. So anything physical that you can offer. The second kind of reward that you can give is recognition. This could be in the form of a social media shout out, a thank you email, or a certificate, anything that acknowledges and appreciates the person that has backed you. That is also a reward that you can give. And these are great because most of the time they won't cost you money. And it's also an opportunity for you to give back to people who might not necessarily require the product that you're selling. Also, experience. You can invite people to spend time with your team, to have an experience, to see a day in the life of your business or your shop, or any other exclusive kind of event that would most of the time require for you to spend time with your backer. We encourage a mix of all three rewards. So you do not have to focus on either retail or recognition or experience. A good reward, a good campaign has a mix of all three rewards. So specifically for the BackaBusiness Movement, we're really encouraging vouchers because most shops are closed and people will not necessarily be able to purchase from you right now, but your product is something that they do love. And if you give them a discounted rate, they are likely to buy now and come and redeem later. So this is something you want to communicate to your backers, that I'm inviting you to buy this product that you already love, to buy it at a discounted rate today. And then once we reopen, you'll be able to redeem at a greater value. So an example would be someone buys something for 100 Rand today, but when they come to redeem, they will redeem for 120 Rand worth of product. What this does is it brings cash flow to your business right now because the bills still need to be paid, the rent still needs to be paid. And if you can get any money you can get right now, will go a long way. And once you reopen, you'll have all these orders to fill, and you will not open to an empty shop. And also, your customers get a discount on their favorite products. So it's generally a win-win for everyone. Next thing you need to do while setting up your project is your campaign story. You get to tell your story in two forms. You get to tell your story in video and in an actual written story section. The questions that you need to answer in the two sections, are: who are we? So what is your business? What do you do? What do you offer? Why you need people's help, or why you're running the project. You need to bring out very clearly as well what the people that back you are going to gain from your project. And also, as we mentioned at the very beginning, is your funding goals need to be very clear. So you need to communicate how much you want to raise and how you're going to spend it. People tend to give more when they understand where the money is going and how exactly it's going to be spent. So that's something you want to bring out clearly. Be sure to thank your backers in advance just for even taking time to read your project and for considering giving. And that's basically what you need to do in the story section. People are compelled to give depending on how compelling your story is. So take time to write a good story, say why you're doing what you're doing, and inspiring people to be a part of it. Your campaign team. Crowdfunding is a team effort for the most part. And we also see that crowdfunding projects that have a team behind them tend to do much better than solo campaigns. And this is a great way to involve your team. If you already have a team, you have colleagues, you have employees, it's a good time to involve them and assign specific tasks to specific team members. This way, everything gets done at the same time. What would probably have taken you a week to do can be done in 2 days because everyone's doing their part at the same time. If you do not have a team, if you are a solo campaign, that's totally fine. We have many businesses that are a team of one. But it is an opportunity for you to invite your family and friends, people that you trust, to support you in your crowdfunding campaign. The crowdfunding is a lot about funding, but mostly it is about the crowd. So if you can start by involving the people around you, it's a great way to start because ultimately you're planning to build a crowd around your business, a crowd of supporters. So if you can start that with the people around you, having them help set up and run your campaign, that would be a great way to begin. Another thing you need to consider while setting up your campaign, actually from the moment that you decide that you're going to set up a crowdfunding campaign, you need to think about your network and segment it into 3 groups because they each need something different from you. They will require a different form of outreach from you. So the first section of your network is the first-degree contacts. These are your very closest inner circle. These are your friends, your family, friends of the business, people who have bought from you before, your loyal regulars at your business. And these are the first people you want to tell about your project even before it starts. So the moment you decide that you're going to run a crowdfunding campaign, reach out to these people, tell them what you're doing, and just prepare them to be ready to back you the very moment that you go live. Your second-degree network are people who know you and know your business. Probably people in your mailing list, people on social media, your Facebook friends, your Twitter followers. You have interacted with them before, but they would need a little more of outreach from you for them to get behind your campaign. This is where the rewards come in, and this is where your story comes in as you're reaching out to them. This will inspire them to give to your project and to share it. Your third-degree network is everyone else, people who do not know you, people in your target audience that you are yet to reach. And the best way to reach them is to engage your first and second-degree network, have them be committed to sharing your project and telling people about it. And this way you'll reach people beyond your network. Next, please. So once you've established who your network is and you've set up your campaign, now you just have to go out and ask. This is probably the most daunting part of a crowdfunding campaign, but it's also the most important because, I mean, the aim is to have people come to your project and support you. So you actually have to go out and tell them what you're doing. You want to ask them for 2 things when you go out to tell them about your project. You want to ask them to give you money to your project, and you also want to ask them to share your project. Asking for money is the toughest part, but it doesn't have to be so scary because with crowdfunding and with reward-based crowdfunding, you are giving them something in return. So it's not begging, it's not a donation, it's not charity, it's a trade. So I'll go with the example of the coffee shop. If you are running the coffee shop, you will go up to someone and tell them, hi, I am raising funds to get through the crisis. Here is how much I need. And in return, this is what I'm offering. So you can choose from one of these fabulous rewards that we are offering. So it's a trade. Don't be so scared to approach people and ask them for money because you are offering them something in return. And also while you're asking, people will have feedback on the rewards. It's a good time to listen to what they want and what they would buy. And it's allowed to change your rewards midway because sometimes what we think people want isn't really what they want. So while you're asking, listen to what they're asking for, and it's okay to customize your rewards to that. Asking becomes easier when you have great rewards and you have a great story, and especially the story. People want to be part of something successful, part of something big. And so you want to bring this out very clearly in your story, why they want to be a part of it. And they need to have confidence that they're part of something that's headed in the right direction. So remember always to ask people to share your campaign. Not everyone will be able to contribute, but most people can share and are willing to share. And the more eyes you have on your campaign, the more likely you are to reach your goal. So upon launch, you need to really put in everything you have into the first few hours and the first few days. Our research shows that up to 42% of crowdfunding funds are raised in the first 3 days and the last 3 days. So take advantage of that initial momentum and reach out to as many people as you can, so that by the end of the first week, you have about 30% of your goal raised. And anyone else who comes to your project, they don't come to a project that is 0 rand raised and out of a 50,000 rand goal. So how to create this initial momentum? As you can see, it's all building up from how we started in the beginning, how you need to reach out to your first degree network. And the reason for that is so that on your launch, they're ready to back you. And in the first week, if you have raised 30% of your goal, your campaign is more attractive to people who do not know you, people who may not have heard of you, but they're seeing a campaign that's well on its way to its goal, and they want to be part of success. People want to be part of success. So a good way to demonstrate this is to have your very close friends and family be ready to back you as soon as you launch. So how to raise your first 10K now that you have launched? It's very easy. You just need to be very consistent in your approach. You need to talk to people constantly. It can become, it can feel like it's quite a lot sometimes, but it's necessary if you're going to reach your goal. So what you want to do is make 5 phone calls a day, make 5 personalized messages a day, send 5 emails in a day, create 5 social posts in a week. That's about a post every day. Ask 5 friends to share your campaign and push for 5 contributions a week. So if you have this checklist that you can go through daily, it gives you a plan and you don't lose sight of your goal. So it's a very manageable way to break down the whole crowdfunding task into small daily bits. So this is something you can put on your mirror that you can look at daily and just check off one item at a time. And it's quite doable. Probably, I know I've said every section before this has been the most important, but they're also important. But one of the most important parts about your crowdfunding campaigns is thanking your crowd and updating them, telling them what you have been able to achieve and how much further you have to go. People want to see momentum. They want to see progress. They want to see that things are moving along in the right direction. So on the first day, if you raise 1,000 Rand, on day 2, just say, hi guys, thank you so much. I raised 10 Rand, I raised 1,000 Rand yesterday, and it's all thanks to you. We have 9,000 to go, and I know we can do it. So if people see regular updates on your campaign, they can see that you're getting closer to your goal. And the closer to success you are, the more people want to get behind you. And also people want to feel like they're part of your journey. And the more invested they are in your journey, the more likely they are to support you. So make sure you make time for daily updates. They don't even have to be daily, actually. Research shows that campaigns that update their backers at least once in 5 days raise about 3 times more than campaigns that don't. So you can plan for a weekly update or twice a week and just inspire your backers by telling them how far you've come and remind them to share your projects. I'm just going to share a few common mistakes on crowdfunding. And we have talked to people who have raised money, people who did not reach their goals, and we have asked them how they would do their crowdfunding campaigns different if they were to do them again. And these are some of the things they mentioned to us. So having goals that are too big scares away your backers, and they feel like their contribution will not make a difference towards the big goal. So having a realistic goal is something that you want to do. And next is not preparing your first degree network before launch. Sometimes we're so excited to launch the project that we forget to do the prep work that we need before. And one thing that's very important is just having just a few people ready to back you as soon as you go live. So take time to just call and text people who you know would support you, tell them what you're about to do, and have them be ready to back you once you're ready to launch. Too few or too many rewards. Most of the time it's towards the too few. And when you have too few rewards that are not set up in levels and prices that are incremental, you end up leaving out some groups of people that would like to contribute, but they do not see a place for them to contribute, because there might be reward for 100 Rand, then the next one is 10,000, then the other one is 100,000. There are a lot of people in between that would not know where to place their rewards. So it's great to have a good number of incremental rewards. So 5 to 10 is a good number. The platform on Thunderfund, we require a minimum of 3, but 5 is a good number, 5 to 10. Also, too many would cause people to be confused. Sometimes when people have too much to choose from, they tend not to choose. So we recommend 5 to 10. Failing to give regular updates or thanking your backers is another common mistake. When someone comes to your social media or to your website and the only post there is about the launch of your crowdfunding campaign, and 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, there is no update. One, people will not know about your project, and 2, they will not be inspired by other people giving. So you want to share that people are getting behind your project, and it's going to inspire other people to get behind your project. Then another really common mistake or common challenge is losing momentum during your crowdfunding project. And we always say that the crowdfunding campaign and the crowdfunding journey looks like a letter U, where you start on a high and the middle is quite slow and it ends on another high. So the middle is the longest part and probably the slowest part. So the best way to keep your momentum during the middle is to go back to those high fives. If you have a plan for the middle, it's going to be less scary and less discouraging. So make sure you keep calling those 5 people, keep messaging those 5 people, sending those emails, and you will be able to maintain the momentum throughout the crowdfunding project. We did do the first draw on 29th of May. That was the first draw for the BackaBusiness campaign. And we had 5 winners. I'll invite Matt to introduce us to them. Matt, you can take us through the winners.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Winter, for that exploration of the platform. So, yeah, if we go back to the slides, we have been running a successful program with Simply Biz. We've already announced the 5 winners of 10,000 Rand each, and there'll be more prizes. All you have to do is get to that 10,000 Rand before the 22nd of June. So we do really encourage you to do that and to really push your crowd to at least overcome that first milestone. So if we look at the first one, sustainability of the silk workshop. So really crowdfunding can work for these kind of events and experience type campaigns. In this case, people like to be creative, people like to be fit. So there's a lot of appealing things to this, and also it's quite unique. We also have the Fresh Earth food store. So retail can succeed. People love to have food. So of course, it's an obvious one people can resonate with. Sorry, my screen is a bit frozen. Can we go to the, so for Talent Unleashed, this is more like a consulting management service. And so what she's offering are things like video training course, books, self-help. And so even if you're an independent consultant, then even you can run a crowdfunding campaign successfully. Next one. BackaPony, people love animals. That's very clear. We've always seen good traction when it involves wildlife. And here it's all around the experience and the emotion you have with this. So you can, one of the rewards is actually visiting the pony farm and taking like a class. And also this giraffe house wildlife, especially in Africa, people love to think about the animals, have to protect what's left on this planet. So these kind of campaigns also, we find a lot of success. Next. So this is, this is not today. Sorry, there was an updated slide. Let me just read for you. So we've had 48 live projects so far. From them, 281 supporters, 352,000 Rand has been raised, and we've had over, 50,000 Rands have been matched already. So you can see some of these businesses are really doing well, and that's where we want to get as many businesses to as possible before the 22nd. And so let me just take you on to how we've learned that crowdfunding campaigns do succeed. So the first rule, and I want you to just think about this, campaigns that reach 30% of their goal within the first 3 days of launching are far more likely to succeed. So this means you're going to have to plan and you're going to have to prepare and you want to have your audience ready. But once you get that initial momentum, it's really a high likelihood that you'll actually run a good campaign. The other thing I want to do, I want to get you into the right mindset for crowdfunding. So think about yourself first. Think about when was the last time you donated money to a charity. Think about why you gave, who asked you, and how did it make you feel. Think about how you've bought things in the past. What made you decide to buy from that particular seller? What made you decide to go to that business? So think about the why, and also think about your team. Why do they work for you? Why do they work with you? Are they volunteers? Are they paid? What mission, what vision are you selling? And think about why they are vested in your success. So now that we have an idea of your team, yourself, and your customers of why they all want you to succeed, now let's look at the crowd. So there's 3 very basic elements that will lead to a successful crowdfunding campaign. Firstly, the size of your network. Multiply that by their ability to give, and multiply that by their willingness to give. So there's a few things you can do. Of course, the size of your network is fairly fixed in that you already know the people you know, and you're not going to suddenly become everybody's best friend. But there are ways you can increase the spread of your crowdfunding platform. So momentum is a very key word. People like to support success. People like success stories. They like to follow each other. So your early supporters are going to be people you already know. They're going to be your friends. They're going to be your family. And you really want them to give in the first few days so that it looks like your campaign is really going to succeed. And so this ties into having a soft launch, informing your network in advance that you'll be running this campaign. And the other aspect of your network is we often take for granted who exists in our network. So it's best to create a map and actually write down some names. Once you start writing, once you start making lists, you'll realize you know more people than you thought about. And so look at your old schoolmates, look at people you might know from church, look at the people you work with, look who's friends with your family. Just make different lists of how and where you know people from, and suddenly you'll have good ideas of what your social network looks like. And again, crowdfunding should not be a solo project. Lots of people want your business to succeed. And so use their influence to help to build a team and help to reach more people. So Winter's already talked about a team. This is a really important aspect of crowdfunding. And also use as many communication channels as you can. So if you're not active on Twitter, it's probably not going to be your best channel. But if your audience is on Instagram, go there. People don't have to start on your crowdfunding page. They're going to start where you already talk to them. So reach out through WhatsApp groups, reach out directly, reach out on Instagram. Make it very easy for people to hear about what you're doing and to get that link to go to your campaign page so they can check out. So next, people's ability to give. So everybody has some money. And of course, that depends on many aspects. It could be circumstantial. It could be depending on their income. And so nobody knows your network better than you. So we want you to set realistic goals for your campaign. What do you think your crowd is capable of? Crowdfunding is not once and all. It's very okay to run a smaller crowdfunding campaign now, understand how your network respond, and take those lessons and launch a repeat campaign. That's also very much encouraged by us. Your campaign needs to offer value. So you offer value through compelling rewards, and these rewards should be arranged. So for those people who want to give 50 Rand all the way to those people who want to give 1,000 Rand or more, make sure your rewards fit the people who you are targeting. So very nicely, we have these gummy bear images just to show if you have a small circle of wealthy people, that can reach your goal, or you can have a very large crowd of people who are just giving a small amount, and that will also reach your goal. So crowdfunding is very much flexible and open. So use the network that you can reach and offer them something they will be interested in. And finally, just because somebody can give doesn't mean they will. And people basically give to things they trust and things they know. In your crowdfunding campaign, you have an opportunity to tell a compelling story. And so that story is about your business, about you, about why someone would want you to succeed. And don't forget, every single buying decision, investment decision, and donation decision, they're all emotional decisions. As much as we like to think we're rational, we actually very much go by our emotions. But just having the best story in the world isn't going to be the answer. If you don't ask anyone to give to your campaign, nobody will. And asking doesn't mean posting one time on Facebook and expecting crowds to flood. It means asking repeatedly, asking consistently, and asking directly. Just to emphasize, people do give to people they know and trust. So you have to start with your people and ask your people to ask their own people. And just think about visiting two campaigns, one which has raised 0 Rand and one which is 90% of the way towards their goal. Which are you as a stranger more likely to support? Of course, you'd rather support the one that already looks like a success, and people do follow this. And then there's no secrets here. Trust is built over time. You're not going to immediately build trust with someone you don't know. And so you have to leverage this campaign to appreciate your supporters and keep them updated. And over time, they will want to give repeatedly. They'll want to know how your business is doing. Going silent is the biggest mistake you can do. This is crowdfunding is just as much about marketing and creating your brand as much as it is about actually getting the cash. So do use crowdfunding to all its advantages. And so once you've looked at the size of your network, their ability to give and their willingness to give, you may find that some points of your campaign are still difficult. And so just understand that the U-shape is normal. This means in the first few days, your early supporters are going to come in. During the middle of your campaign, you might find it's harder to attract people. They might be tired of you asking. So you have to be very strategic in how you get these messages across. Every message you put on social media shouldn't be asking for money. You need to balance it with keeping people updated, just talking normally. And also setting very specific goals throughout your campaign can help. So that builds mid-campaign momentum. Like today, we need to raise just 20 rand more. And so do focus on them to help build that momentum back. And then at the end of the campaign, people really still want you to succeed. Often the people who supported at the beginning will come back. And so you also see a peak at the end. The other thing some people forget is you should back yourself first. If you're raising money from the crowd, they want to know that you have skin in the game as well. So don't be afraid to start off that momentum yourself. You can always revise your rewards if you find they're not working. It's really preferable that you start with the right rewards, and Winter and the team will help you there. But it is possible that we make some changes later. Do focus on your story, tell it well, address common questions. And honestly, people don't have the attention to read long paragraphs. Use bullet points. Use questions, give a summary at the beginning, use pictures, use videos, be creative. People really want to be excited with you in your campaign, so make sure your story conveys that. And then when you're stuck, make sure your network are with you. Make sure they're also engaged in the sharing. So I just wanted to summarize a bit, because I know we've shared a lot of information. It's not going to all have landed, so feel free to revisit and ask us as many questions as you want. But basically, you have to plan your campaign. Success happens before the campaign actually launches. And so if you spend the time to plan, your chances of success will be much higher. We do believe anyone can succeed at crowdfunding as long as they have the full commitment. So this is also related to how long a campaign should be. If you can commit to 30 days and do the 30 days well, do that. Having a longer campaign doesn't mean it's more likely to succeed. Really, you just want to put all of your energy into one go so that you don't have to keep coming back to the same people and everybody can get excited together. Do create milestones. Bring people back to the campaign by letting them know how they can be involved. Make sure you are asking people directly. People will see a Facebook message, but they won't necessarily respond. So let them see it in your story, but then also go out to them directly on WhatsApp, phone call, face-to-face, and ask them if they can support you. And be personal in your requests. Don't treat everyone the same. You know them, you know your network, so talk to them as they are. And then just keep your backers updated and appreciated. This will go a long way in how they reciprocate, how they promote your campaign, how they come and give later on in the campaign. And so hopefully with these tips, you'll be able to understand how to run a successful campaign. I hope you'll actually take the time to review these slides further. We should be sharing them after this. And I've also provided several links here that you can visit Thunderfund, you can visit BackaBusiness, our social media accounts, You can find some media assets from BackaBusiness on that OneDrive. And also, if you're stuck for images, I do recommend you can use Unsplash, which are royalty free, and they'll give you high quality images that won't get you in trouble with the law. So yeah, we really wish you the best of luck, and really thank you for joining us today. And I'll look forward to talking to you each personally.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining. If you have any questions, just type them in the question bar, or you have our contacts, feel free, you can reach us afterwards. Okay, I can see a question from Sipo. So you've already launched your business and you're still trying to learn crowdfunding. Okay, sounds good. Crowdfunding is a great tool for you to navigate, especially around this crisis and any other business need you might have. So if you have any questions that we have not addressed, just feel free to shoot. Thanks, Anthony. We're going to share the link after the session.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Matt and Winter, so much. It's been wonderful going through this journey with you over the past few weeks. For those of you still maybe at the bottom of your U, hopefully these tips will help you to start rising up at the end, and we wish you all the very best. The webinar will be available afterwards. You will be able to see replays, and please note at the end you will be able to download the presentation. And there is also the crowdfunding handbook if you haven't already downloaded that. And as Winter mentioned, please do contact Thunderfund directly or BackaBusiness or Simply Biz if you wish to ask any questions or follow up from there. Also follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We are constantly sharing updates and tips and techniques, and hopefully those will also be of help to you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.